Yo team, what is up? This week we are feeling a lot better than last week. Now, obviously last week was just a bit of a slug all round, and one of the big factors I think into getting myself out of that was just sticking to the routine, still studying, still doing all the daily tasks I need to. But one of the other things that I think might have been the reason, oh shit, shocking lighting, might have been the reason I was feeling like that was I need a deload. So I trained yesterday, I trained push, it was actually decent. I'm doing legs in 15 minutes and then I will be doing a deload until Monday. And in the next section, fast forward to me doing something, I will speak you through how you know you need a deload and why you should take them, because everyone hates not training, but when you come full circle, it's very important. So, catch that on the next bit. So, everyone's always telling me how I need to be more responsible and I need to stop losing everything, and I'm always like, whatever. So anyway, I just walked to the shop to grab something and my car texts me when I leave it unlocked so I can lock it with my phone. And I get back to the car, I hadn't locked it and my car keys are just sitting on the seat. So anyone could have taken it. But you know, they never, so fuck it, I'll probably just keep losing everything anyway. I am very organised with clients, check-ins, business. Everything else outside of that, I am honestly a scatterbrain. I lose everything, every day, 24 times a day. So I'm just going to quickly go through some movements in the gym. And I will say, for anyone training at home that's pissed off that you don't have equipment, sorry about the fact that I do, but I have invested a lot and it's just one of those things. It is my business after all, so business expenses. But we'll be back in the gym soon. So if you don't want to watch it, flick off. But you'll see me speaking on a sort of, I've put myself over the top of me doing movements. So just have a look at them and then I'll speak about it after. So, like obviously cable flies and cuffed flies are something that I've been using in the industry a lot, but I personally have been doing these 3 years, but over the last year and a half, I've really focused on actually using my chest. So as I'm driving across here, I'm trying to get my chest as short as possible. You'll see I actually internally rotate my shoulders slightly. That means I can get my arm further across, means I can get my chest shorter. So in this position, that's really safe. So you should be playing on these a lot. Also, ignore my outfit, it was cold. I've got loads of layers on, I look 40 stone, and ignore Robin in the background holding the bench because my weight slides it back. But these positions here are very, very good. You'll also notice I don't rush out the lengthen position because it's going to help my shoulders a little bit more rather than just going back and forward. Now, the other movement for me that has definitely brought up my chest is a incline press on a Smith. I've also been doing barbell work, but one thing you'll notice here is I don't rush out the bottom. I don't just get to the bottom and explode up. I also control the tempo, because if you're someone who's getting stronger on a movement but you're not growing, we know that you're just not using the muscle properly. So mind-muscle connection needs to be there when you're trying to grow something. So I am getting stronger on these. I'm still not strong, but my actual control through them and the fact I'm feeling my chest throughout the whole rep is really, really a big factor in me actually building more muscle there. So with movements, and something that I have really noticed is I have grown a lot in the last year and a half. And yes, I've got stronger, so obviously that's going to impact it. And I've been in a surplus for a fair amount of time. But another factor that has really, really been there the whole time is as I've been getting stronger, my control through movements is just as good. And it's one thing that really, really is apparent when you see people in the gym where there'll be, and I'll just use a random person for example, a 65, 70 kilo guy doing a dumbbell row with 60 kilos and he's just moving like that. Like, it's not about that when you look to build muscle. It needs to be controlled, so you need to be contracting the muscle through a full range. You also must be loading it in a safe environment that's going to contract, because how many times you see people lifting a weight really fast, moving a lot, but you're not really doing what you need to be. So from a perspective of just every movement, you should be working through that lengthened, the shortened position. And little things that I've found really have helped me over the past is when I'm doing, so my chest has really been the main factor that's came on for me, and my back. But before with chest, I wasn't that strong, so I have got stronger. But one factor I've been doing a lot with is as I'm pressing, I'm having a slight pause for a second in this position here before I drive out. That's helped a lot. And also just making sure my tempo is good. So as I'm coming down, I'm not just getting there and bouncing it out, because yeah, you'll move the weight, but you're not going to control it. You're not going to keep that chest actually doing the work. So it's a real factor for when you're training at home. If you've got a limited load, really focus on controlling it and going through those motions very well, because that execution will tie in perfectly when you get back in the gym. If you've been fanning about training at home and you're not feeling it as much, it's not going to be beneficial when you come to the gym. Whereas if you've really been nailing it and you get under you get in a plate load press, it's going to help. So just make sure you really focus on that, because it's something that I really do see a lot. And I think when clients start with me, it's something I'll assess and I'll look at how they move. Because a lot of the time people think they're way stronger than they are, and that can be counterproductive. So any questions about it, drop me a message, but just focus on really controlling everything you're doing. Another solid week in the bag for me. Weight was up 0.2 roughly from last week, which again isn't loads, but what we've seen is my weight's not really spiking, it's not really climbing too fast, but there's differences in body composition. I look fuller, strength is climbing. Obviously I'm on a deload this week, so back to training Monday, so I'll probably look a little bit flatter on this week's check-ins. But here's the photos from Monday when I trained, and obviously I look pretty full there. Excuse the fact I need a tan, but I might actually buy a sunbed, that'll be alright. But yeah, it's going real smooth. The lighting on this phone is shocking, ignore that. But one big factor over these next sort of 2 to 3 months before gyms open, I'm guessing 2, is I want to be in the best position for when they do open, and I want my strength to be the highest. So it's just staying on top of it, making sure that I really focus on getting my food in, recovering well, and hitting the muscles as hard as I can when I do train. So something that I'm actually really enjoying at the moment is, normally gaining phases can be difficult, and not that I don't enjoy them, but higher body fat, feel a bit sluggish, etc. I'm actually feeling relatively fit for the weight I'm at. Food's high, but it's not super high, and I still feel like I've got more in the tank. Normally with the gaining phase, I push a bit too hard at the start, body fat goes a bit too high, I'm out of breath moving, and then I need to pull back faster, which isn't effective in the long run, because we want these phases to be long. Just to end this week's vlog, I just want to say, first of all, thanks very much for everyone that watches. It's always cool to see that people actually give a fuck about my journey and me just blethering shit for 10 to 15 minutes. But what I would really like to do is, if anyone's got any questions about stuff they would like me to cover in a vlog, so whether that's dieting, gaining phases, training, competing, anything in between, drop me a message, because I can actually break it down into sort of a mini series, and I'm looking to just do perhaps a 3-4 part sort of vlog about a certain thing, because over these next sort of 6 to 8 weeks, even 10 weeks, I'm just going to be in a gaining phase. I'm just going to be doing the same thing, ticking boxes, but obviously because it's lockdown, I'm not going to be really out and about, so there's not as much content as you would get if it wasn't lockdown and I was actually doing stuff, seeing different gyms, going to see clients. So if anyone's got anything they do want me to just cover and go through, I can break that down and go into more detail with it. So, because at the end of the day, the more I can be educational, the better. So anyone's got any questions, just DM me, drop it in the YouTube channel box below, or just DM me on Instagram, and I will do my best to answer all your questions and provide some more educational content.